Aloha, what's up? Sylvan Bell coming to you live from Honolulu, Oahu. I got Waikiki right behind me. Figure perfect day to talk about sales training. 5:34 in the afternoon. And you know, I like to look at a lot of different industries to figure out better ways to explain how to sell. And so I'm gonna give you two different industries, and it's gonna help you work on your process. And the first thing we're gonna take a look at is the film industry. Now, I've looked at how to write a script quite often, and because it helps with coaching and it helps with sales and it helps with copywriting. And the whole process of each scene, which is roughly about 2 minutes long, is to keep you engaged enough to watch the next scene, which is 2 minutes long, to keep you watch the next scene, which is 2 minutes long. So think of watching a movie next time that you're watching it, like if you kind of time it roughly, about every 2 minutes there's a new scene or new information being layered in, or new drama being layered in, or something funny being layered in, okay? So that's the first industry. Now, the second industry, I mentioned copywriting, and it's the same thing in copywriting. Each sentence, so the sentence that's right here, is meant for you to read the next sentence, which is meant for you to read the next sentence, which is meant for you to read the next sentence. So all this information starts caving in on itself to keep you interested. Now you're like, Scott, what in the world does that have to do with my sales process? I gotta tell you, if you're giving a presentation and this 2 minutes is boring and you lose the attention of the buyer, you're gonna have a tough time keeping their attention for the next 2 minutes, which is gonna mean you're having a tough time keeping your attention for the 2 minutes after that, which is gonna mean you're having a tough time keeping the attention for the 2 minutes after that. The sales process for somewhat should be entertaining to the buyer. And I'm being generic about this, there's not all industries that this counts in, but there should be some pretty cool interactions between you and the person that you're meeting with. And you're like, but Scott, you know, I meet with corporate buyers. I get that, right? I do get that. And they are human, they do interact. And not all the time do they make a decision in a bubble. Sometimes they may tip you off and say, hey, here's exactly what we need for you to get the job, or for you to get the information, or for you to get the sell, whatever you want to say, okay? So whatever you could do to be somewhat entertaining or somewhat, word just escaped me, okay? But I'll come back to it. Just be somewhat like interesting so that that person pays attention to what's going on. Not over the top, not crazy, not dressing up in a gorilla suit, right? With a big giant cowboy hat and a pair of plastic guns. That's just over the top crazy. So when you sit down with people, if your process is boring and they're just like, oh my goodness, please stop, they're gonna get to the end and they're gonna say something like, hey, okay, cool, just send me your information or leave your bid and I'll give you a call, which means I'm not ever gonna give you a call, right? If you don't know that by now, you need to. But do something that is gonna be unique. Do something that's gonna be fun, but not too crazy over the top, that's gonna get you in trouble, that's gonna get you to go to jail, that's gonna get police charges put against you. Because that's not a smart thing to do. That could create some challenges. But just remember that every 2 minutes, that information should be getting that person to watch the next 2 minutes, getting them to watch the next 2 minutes, getting them to listen to the next 2 minutes. And the only way that you're gonna know this is if you videotape your presentation and pay attention to what you're doing real life and take really good notes. So, you know, occasionally, if the buyer allows you to do it, depending upon the state, you might be able to record them if you ask for their permission. I've done that quite often. Say, hey, look, you know, I'm trying to figure out how many times I use filler words like ums and ahs. Do you mind if I record this? And if they say, hey, no problem, boom, I record it. I count my ums and ahs, but I also count for my flaws and things that I say and questions that I didn't answer the right way and things that I did wrong. So make sure that if you're gonna do some recording, you have to abide by all the rules. I'm not telling you to do anything covertly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying figure out how you're gonna get the recording done, right? And do it the right way, do it legally so that you don't get yourself in a bunch of legal issues. And, you know, record your process and make sure that for every 2 minutes that you're going, the next 2 minutes stays interesting. And then you can go from there, all right? Now, if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that would be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there is a subscribe button. You know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to subscribe. And then you can send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Scott Sylvan Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.